All right, gamers, we have our very first run of the day all set up, and we could not have asked for anything better to open things up. It's Saturday morning. We need to get ourselves a little bit more active, especially as the winter months are coming up. And what better way to get active than with some We Play Motion from SMMidi, who's going to be getting all the platinum medals. So, Midi, best of luck and have fun. Take it away.
Alright, hello everyone. I'm Midi, or Drew. I speedrun a lot of different minigame based games. I've been on Prevent-a-Thon before with We Play. And today we are back with We Play Motion. This is pretty much the same thing. And this is a title screen game as well. I don't actually get much time to play this normally. So this is a game similar to We Play, but we are using motion rather than pointing at the screen for a lot of things. There is still some pointing, but basically this is more of a tech demo kind of game for the Wii. It came out after Wii Sports Resort, which was the better tech demo for the Wii Motion Plus, which is the remote I'm using here. There was the one with the extension to the remote, which is what Wii Sports Resort had, and then there's this one where it's built into the remote. This is the best one, the most precise one for speedrunning in terms of everything in the Wii series that actually uses it. But this game kind of got forgotten about because Wii Sports Resort is just better, it's more iconic, but these games are really fantastic. The Platinum Medal requirements are way harder than in Wii Play as well. They're much more thought out. There's a level select in most of these games as well. Yeah, the plug-in Motion Plus I do have, but it's really now it's almost like 15 years old. It's getting pretty unreliable. So these ones are a little bit better, and this is the one that actually came with this game. Oh, I see. Hang on one sec. Okay. Yeah, okay, cool. So, we are going to get into the run. So, we have 12 games to showcase today. We are going to be playing them in any order. That's the best thing with this game, is you can play them in any order. We're going to start off with Skip Skimmer, which is pretty difficult. Yes, the Wii is retro, yes. I've already ruined everything, and I've not even started the run yet. Time will start when I press OK here, so I'll give a little bit of a countdown for that as well. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So, we're starting off with Skip Skimmer. I am going to move back a little bit because I'm going to have to swing the remote forward and I do not want to hit my microphone. So, basically, this game's pretty awkward. So, what we're doing is, as you can see, it's already eating my input. What we want is to skim stones, and we want to reach 180 skims with 5 stones. Now, as you can see, starting off with 30 is not ideal, but basically the game here takes into account 2 things. You get your angle scored from 0 to 100 and your power scored from 0 to 100. 30 to 33 again is a pretty average throw. We might be taking a restart here, but that is fine, that is to be expected. That is what the estimate allows for here. It's mainly Skip Skimmer. Same thing with We Play, it's mainly billiards that we're accounting for in the estimate. It's the same thing here. Getting a little bit of a recovery with 37, but it probably isn't going to be enough. It can be, but we would need some very good throws here. So, the power, we want to get close to the yellow bar, and that is going to be giving us 100 out of 100. And the angle, you pretty much want a flat throw. And that's the way to do this. We need 43 on the last one, which is possible, but it is very difficult. Now, that is a good power. That's almost perfect power. 40 plus, you're pretty much relying on luck. I did actually just get a 52 in the practice room, so I'm hoping we're going to get the luck to pull through. Oh, we do. Wow, first try. I can't believe that. Okay. Instantly, as soon as we get this first try, we now have about 5 minutes, 10 minutes to burn with the estimate. So we can play around with some riskier strats in the rest of the game now, which is fantastic. That game normally does not behave. I should note as well, there were some special stones there, like the boomerang stone, stuff like that. I cannot believe I just got that first try, by the way. There are 2 more games that are really important. This one is a bit of a breather because this is tough, but it's mainly because it's easy to lose time here. I will get on to explaining this in a moment, but basically Skip Skimmer, you get 180, and that's your platinum medal. It's really mean, because getting any other medal there, as with a lot of other games in here, is much easier. Nice bounce there. Because the medals are 50, 100, 150, 180. There are 4 medals in the game: bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. We will actually see most of them in the run, in the games where there are level select, this is one of them, which is teeter targets, we will get onto in a moment. These levels, there's not too much going on. It's fairly self-explanatory, we are just hitting these targets. But as I was saying, the main thing with Skip Skimmer is those special stones are bad. You just want to use the plain stones. You can use the ones with like the animal faces on because they just do sound effects, but everything else that's a special shape will be a really, really slow stone. Yeah, basically that's pretty much it with that game, and I'm very glad. I'm still not over the fact that I've got that first try. I'm very happy. Just for context, when I first started this game, it took me 4 hours to do that first time in a run. So yeah, it's very good to finally be able to do that. Right, we're on to teeter targets. So basically, all we need to do here is hit all the targets. We do not need to hit these green objects. They give us bonus time. And that is basically it. So a lot of these are going to get much harder. We're going to get more than one seesaw. But basically, we are tilting the Wii Remote left and right. And I can kind of show you on some of these stages what I'm doing, because in this game, we don't actually have to point at the screen. Best thing with Wii Series in this game as well is that you don't actually have to be... Oh, hang on. That's unusual. You want to get a 3-hit combo here, but that's fine. The best thing with Wii Series is a lot of the time the menus will default to the option that you want it to be for a speedrun. So, conveniently here, that's next stage. So all I need to do is mash A and 2, and then we can just go through, which is very, very nice. And that's another good thing. I am not a very good masher, so being able to mash both buttons here is really nice. So a lot of these are designed so you can get multiple combos as well. In terms of score running, that is kind of intended. You want to be hitting multiple targets at once without hitting the seesaws. Unfortunately, because we've missed the combo of 3 there, that's a little bit longer, but that's fine. The runner is more breathing a sigh of relief. Exactly, yeah. It's, it is just a relief. Especially when you start off Skip Skimmer with less than... Well, no, we hit exactly 100. I cannot think of many instances where I have had 100 going into the last 2 stones, and I've actually cleared it. Normally, at that point, I'm just resigned to resetting. But I thought, I'm just going to continue this, just in case. Also, nice 6-hit combo, very good. Unfortunately, we are falling off there, but that's alright. This level is just one of those where, technically, these are consistent, like this is a deterministic game, but because the motions are so precise with the seesaw, you're never really going to get the same result in a lot of these, unless it's one where there's just one seesaw and you just hold it in place. Those are the only consistent ones. So there are 30 stages in here, and it should tell you more about the game that the medal requirements are 10 for bronze, 20 for silver, 28 for gold, and 30 for platinum. Yeah, the last 2 stages are that awful, casually, that, well, to be honest, in the run as well, sometimes. They're that awful that those are the only ones you have to do for platinum. So it is very, very important to be practicing those as well. So again, nice little combo there. You want to just get to the top and chain those together. So, big distinction between this game. You might be thinking, in Wii Play, if you watched Prevent-a-Thon 2, I believe it was, this is literally just a random shot. First try, nice. I'm really happy with that. That can take a while. That's very, very good. So yeah, in Prevent-a-Thon 2, we run Wii Play, and also here, tiny tap at the end is important, otherwise that strat doesn't work, to hit all 3 of those, and it's really hard to recover that again. Very nice combo. So in Prevent-a-Thon 2, we run Wii Play, and in Wii Play, hang on, I just need to focus here. So yeah, Wii Play is kind of a similar run. Oh, hang on. There we go, we're in. Unfortunately, we're not in on that one, but we do have a backup strat to just get the ball that way. Ah, I missed it. That's alright, we'll go again. There we go. You can go up the reverse stair for both towers all the way to the top target, but it's really hard. Yeah, so in Prevent-a-Thon 2 we run We Play. It's a very similar game, but a lot of those games in We Play don't really have as much of a time swing in terms of all of the games mattering. We have, you know, tanks, we have Find Me, we have billiards. Those are the important games for time save. In here, everything kind of matters for the speedrun. And between that, the other distinction with this game is, obviously the minigames are different, but also, we are running on 16:9. So, We Play did have 16:9, so we kind of have the choice to run on 4:3 or 16:9. Oh, that's such a shame. Almost got that. I did move the seesaw out of the way there, so it almost worked, but not quite. That's fine. Oh, that's a shame. I'm going to go the other way this time. And then that should... Oh, dang it. Okay, we'll go this way then. Game didn't like that. That's alright. Oh my goodness. Okay. Come on, let's actually win. Let's not fail. Okay, let's... Oh my goodness, this is never usually a problem. Do not fail. Come on. No! Okay. I'm gonna have to go. Okay, whatever. That's fine. I have never failed that in my life. That's fine. So, this game has 16:9, and in We Play, we use 4:3 because it's faster in tanks. There we go, that's what we're supposed to do. That has never been a problem, that's a shame. That's alright. So yeah. In this game, we're able to use 16:9 because in We Play, we only use 4:3 because it squishes the playing field in tanks. Now, this game doesn't have tanks, which I know will disappoint some people, but I promise the games in here are a lot more polished, so it makes up for it. Yeah, basically, there's no difference really between 16:9 and 4:3. The only difference I think there is, and by the way, we're literally just going to yeet the ball on this one because it's literally easier than doing this stage normally. And the motion for me doing this is literally just tilting the Wii Remote upside down and hoping for the best. There we go, nice backup. We will get another similar stage like that. So, in these T-to-target stages where they're just on one screen, in 4:3, the boundaries on the left and right sides are actually closer, and I'm also going to go for a quick strat here. Oh, that's a shame. We'll go for it again. There we go, we got two of them. So you can actually get all four at once there if you go up the left-hand side. It works better on the left column though, but that's alright. So basically, if you fall off the left or right boundaries of a stage that is just a single screen, then as far as I'm aware, that will actually make you fall off faster. So technically, that isn't actually optimal because you don't really want to fall off at all. But 4:3 might save a tiny bit of time compared to 16:9 as an aspect ratio. But it's so irrelevant in terms of how much time that would be that it's just better to run 16:9. And this is another one where I'm going to try to just launch the ball. That is a good backup strat though. So the reason why it's kind of hard to back it up when I'm doing those quick movements there, same thing on this level, is because I'm holding the Wii Remote upside down. So I used to do a thing where I would launch it and then turn the Wii Remote back up again, but the problem with that is that then this next seesaw will get in the way. So it's kind of awkward to do that. Nice, barely kind of corrected its path there with the second one. So that's the gold, and as I say, there are two more stages to go. The first one is a huge vertical climb, but we're going to ignore it and just go up the side. And hope that we get through, because this can still be awkward. Yeah, so if you fall off the sides, then unfortunately you do have to restart all over again. And that is why this game is mean sometimes. Okay, so I need to focus here. There we go. And then up again. And then just one more. There we go. And then the next one is even harder because you can't really cheese it that much. You can... it's basically horizontal instead of vertical. This tutorial at the beginning, by the way, of every stage, that will scroll all the way till the end. I watched someone play this casually recently, and they actually watched the cutscene all the way to the end. It lasts about a minute. It's pretty bad. So, yeah, this stage is pretty awful. I've run Teeter Target's ILs, so there is a board where you just run Teeter Targets. And the thing with that board is you can play the stages in any order, but you have to start with 1 and end with 30. And that is pretty bad, because this is difficult. So the good thing is you get so much bonus time that you don't really have to restart too often, which they did think about, to be fair. But basically the strat is just to launch the ball at the beginning, hope for a good settle of the ball, and then pretty much go from there. So, unfortunately going back, that's alright. Again, I'm going to need a bit of focus. And yeah, there's our UFO. So, that's another thing in this game. We Play Motion is obsessed with UFOs for some reason. There's a UFO in basically every minigame in here. I have no idea why. And the funny thing is, it's not even like it was... Like, maybe it was a Nintendo thing that they just wanted UFOs in every game. I don't know. But this is pretty unique for Wii Series in that Nintendo only made Teeter Targets. All the others were kind of made by other developers. So maybe Nintendo's requirement was just, hey, can you just put this UFO model in every game, please? That's pretty much it. And there is also one in Skip Skimmer, but it kind of has a chance of not coming up. Alright, come on, we want to get through this stage now. The amount of time I've practiced this, but it does not matter if it's not being nice. Nice save there, though. There is enough of a gap for the ball to just fall through. Okay, so we're going to go down here. Okay, nice save again. Right, I am going to focus because I need to make sure the ball actually settles in these slides. And here as well, you want to be very careful because you can fall off there. That's how the ball works. And then there are 3 more to go. Oh, never mind, we're skipping it and missing, no! That's fine. So because it's so precise, and sometimes the Wii Remote will just jolt a little bit more than you want at the end there, sometimes it will actually just miss. I can't save that. So there's not really much I can do about that. We got our UFO back again. Maybe the UFO will bless us. So thankfully, again, because I got through Skip Skimmer first try, we have this time to burn. This is fine. But it would be good if we can get through. Thankfully, this is the only game in here that is like this. Everything else, well, Stage 30 in Star Shuttle is also kind of bad sometimes, but that we do have setups for. There we go. So yeah, very slightly, the remote is just jolting a little bit here. But that is okay. No, we're going to go back. Okay. There was no way I was going to save that other than doing that, which is kind of scary. Okay, come on. No, I can't back that up. Come on. It keeps on jolting. Yeah, this morning I actually charged my batteries and the remote just wouldn't turn on, which did concern me a little bit. But it has been working. I did do a practice run this morning and it has been working. So I did not expect this to be an issue. But part of this is just because this stage is really hard.
Don't worry, I think we've all experienced at some point some funny business with our respective Wii controllers.
Yeah, this is just the nature of it, I guess. And we finally got through. Technically, that's first try with 5 minutes IGT left on the clock because that's how hard that is. But yeah, all right, we're through. It's all right. We still have plenty of time left on the estimate. All right, cool. So we're now into Cone Zone. This is the other game that is really important for this. So this is stacking ice cream until it goes to space, basically. So I am holding the Wii Remote up here, tilting it left and right, and we have to try and keep it stable, basically. By the time you reach around 60, it gets really, really difficult. The maximum is 120, which I've never reached. The PB, I pretty much just play to 80, because 80 is platinum here. It is just in increments of 20 for the medals. And same thing as, it's the same medal requirements as Find Me in We Play. And in that game, they were really mean, because to get to those final few points in that game, and the same thing here, they make it a little bit harder, because they add in dark levels. But in here, they just throw 5 scoops at once at you. And it's really hard to keep it stable. Other than that, this is just what this game is, so yeah, if there are any messages or donations, then fire away.
Well, I'm sure everyone has been enjoying this run so far, but we can extend the run just a little bit longer. We do have a donation incentive to add on just a little bit more gameplay into this run. We need $40 to add the Jump Park Time Attack as a bonus run, but folks, we don't have a lot of time left. It closes at the end of this run, so not much time. Only $40 gets us that bonus run.
Alright, excellent, yes. We do have some time attacks to show off. And yeah, Jump Park is a very fun game in here. Unfortunately, we do not get to see it for very long, which is a real shame. But I am hoping we make that to get some more of that. Also, I cannot believe I just lived around 72 to 74 scoops. Yeah, that was pretty wild. I thought that was gone. It's so hard to tell whether you're actually going to live in this game or not sometimes, but yeah, that is all good. We are fine. So we're now moving on to Pose Me Plus, which is the obligatory SMMidi game show reference moment. Yeah, this is kind of like Hole in the Wall, if you've ever seen that game show, which is now required viewing, I guess. Basically, yeah, we're just forming shapes to go through gaps, and as we go here, it's going to get more and more precise. You can get 10 points on each one. However, the timer gets more and more restrictive, and by the end, you only have about 2 seconds to actually see the pose and then fail, basically. And if you fail, you lose a life. The problem with that is you need 900 points here, and you get to 600, and then hopefully you win by then, and then each of the lives you have left over is 100 points. So it's basically, don't get hit. If you get hit, it's an instant reset, because you cannot do this at that point. So the best thing about this is basically, it's pretty funny, because in an optimal speedrun, you would also have an optimal score run, because the faster you go in everything in here, oh, there we go, we start to get a few harder poses now as well. We have to just look very closely at the orientation of the remote you have to hold in it. There we go. But yeah, it's basically an optimal speedrun is an optimal score run, which is really cool. This used to be a real problem for me as well, which is why it's quite early in the game order, and it can still go wrong. I have lost runs in here very recently. I've only just started derusting this game again since learning this got into the marathon, and it's actually kind of motivated someone else, my main other competitor in this game, Murasaki, to start running the game again, which is pretty cool. The world record has gone down by a significant amount since this marathon run was confirmed, which is pretty cool. Anyway, focus time, because this is hard. Just a few more poses left. So we have our 600, but we do still need to get to the end. That was a little bit scary. There we go, 660. Close to PB. Alright, nice. So we're out of that first try as well. Cool.
Hey, Midi, we have a pretty big announcement.
Absolutely.
And I think you're going to like this one. So we have a $10 donation from Dragon Z saying, I love Teeter Targets level 30. Good luck, Midi. You're the GOAT. And thanks to that $10 donation, we are now at $1,300 Canadian total raise for Prevent-a-Thon 4. So round of applause to everyone who donated to Prevent-a-Thon and donating to Little Warriors. It's been an absolute treat seeing all the support everyone has given to Little Warriors with all these donations. Let's keep it coming. We still have some time left before we reach that Jump Park Time Attack bonus. We need to get to $40, and the only way to get to that incentive is when you're at the donation page, be sure to click the add incentive button and make sure you select Jump Park Time Attack Bonus Run. That is the only way we can see some more We Play motion at the end of this run. So, but again, it closes at the end of the run, so not much time left.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks so much everyone for your generosity. It's incredible to see. And yeah, talking of Jump Park, we are here right now. This is the Jump Park. So we are playing this, and it is, as you can see, one of the most fun games, in my opinion, if these were in real life, to play. Other than Windrunner, which is going to be the last game, so you've got that to look forward to later. Okay, that's very nice timing. So basically, you get power-ups in here. We started off with a magnet. We now get gold, which is double points, which is obviously broken because every set, you basically need 100 gems to get to the next set. If you're getting double points, you need less than half of the gems to actually reach that, and the power-ups do carry through. So as we get more and more power-ups, you can start stacking a lot of them, and it can get pretty wild by the time you get to stage 4. Also, yeah, the ice cream, yeah, listen, the ice cream is like twice as big as the Mii's heads. I'm not too sure there's any logic in this game. But yeah, anyway, we now start to get, we get another power-up here, which is the whistle, which basically spawns in a bunch of extra Mii's to help us. So whichever inputs I do, they will also do. But what you want to do at the beginning is you actually just want to leave them to do like their default path, because they will always go in the same place. We now have Mini as well, which is not good. It just decreases our hitbox, which is bad. What we can do though is grab Magnet, go up here, and then just grab a bunch of these, and then we're done. Nice. And then we have one more stage to go, which is stage 4, and then we get our Platinum Medal. So, there is a route to this one, and I have a pretty good IL PB in here. That's the best thing with this game. You also can do ILs. There are a lot of people who have never run full game, but they do run ILs because there are a lot of in-game timers in here. So, it is a very, very fun game for that. In We Play, you only have charge that you can do ILs with. So, yeah, there's a lot more in terms of that to actually do in this game. That is fine. We're going to get that. So we're going to go up here. We're going to grab a few gems first, then we're going to grab gold. That might sound a bit counterintuitive, but we're going to do this. We're going to grab a bunch of those ones, and then suddenly we have a bunch more gold left for this stage. So I'm going to go down here, and then, wow, this is really good. We've grabbed all those. We're going to go up here. We're not even going to need to grab this whistle, but I'm going to show it off anyway. If you have the magnet and the whistle, all the extra Mii's get magnets, so it's very funny to watch. 38.5 is pretty good there. Anything under sub 40 is absolutely great in an RTA run. And then we're moving on to Spooky Search. This is one of the only games that I can think of on the Wii that requires the speaker. So, yeah, basically what we have to do here is the game wants you to look around your room physically to find where the ghosts are. And you're actually going to hear the beeps from my Wii Remote. They're not coming from the game, they're coming from the Wii Remote. But basically... Hang on, I do have to listen out for it, so I have to go quiet at random points. Come on, stop trolling. There we go. We eventually got there. Yeah, so... basically, the Mii's give you directions of where to point, because you don't actually have to look around your room in this game. You can just look at the Mii's for directions, and also not move around your room. You just have to point the Wii Remote in that direction, because that's all it's looking for. There we go, so that was right behind me, pretty difficult to find, there we go. So we have these ones we have to point at the screen, and then you have a boss ghost at the end. I'm gonna tell my kids this was Luigi's Mansion. Anyway, literally as I say that, someone gets there in chat. I promise I said that first, but like by 1 second. I'm not joking. Yeah, this is just, that's what it is. I mean, Luigi's Mansion wishes it was this, right? Thanks everyone for the good lucks as well. I appreciate it. Yeah. So this is only 3 stages long, and you might be thinking, well, how are we going to get platinum then? Well, in stage 3, you have to get a specific amount of points. And stage 3 is actually kind of precise. The Miis can get captured in this game. And if a single Mii gets captured, you can win, but you have to be really fast. Also, that is one of the fastest grabs I've ever seen. Literally the countdown ended, and I was already getting beeps. That's pretty good. This could be an eye-opener the way this is going. So yeah, some of these ghosts do the same thing every time, like this watermelon one always does. Come on. There we go. The watermelon one always does 3 long ones, long swings. So these are the ones that can capture, so you just want to get those as soon as they appear. They can appear at pretty bad times though, because you want to be getting progress on these ones that are in the background, but you also want to be getting rid of the ones that appear on screen as soon as they appear, because they are random in when they appear, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, I cannot believe that grab. I've never seen anything like it. It's not as important in Platinum Medals, but it's pretty good. Like, the shorter categories are very reliant on this game. Oh, what? Oh, that wasn't a 10, that was a 3. So it was a smaller swing, so unfortunately it didn't work. That has probably not helped, but that's alright. So the boss ghost appears in the background. So that ghost is really hard to catch because it will slowly go close to the screen and then appear, if you're really slow, it'll appear on the screen on the right hand side. You do want to reach it before then, but it is kind of awkward. And then that's it, and that's one more stage to go. Luigi's Mansion. Okay, that I have to mention that. I can't just let that sit there and not mention it. That's incredible. It's my turn with the brain cell. So we have one more stage to go. We've got 12 ghosts left. I mean, this game is really silly. All the games in Wii Play Motion are really silly. So it's kind of on brand. This game is just on brand for Wii Play Motion. Alright, so we now have these ghosts. We have 3 in a line. I cannot grab all 3, so I'm just going to go for 2 of them. Now, you might be wondering why I'm not grabbing some of these when I'm hearing full beeps, and that is because... Oh, hang on. There we go. So, basically, if you get full beeps, and only full beeps without the small beeps. Small beeps mean you're close, but you're not on a ghost. That was really awkward one to grab. Okay, I cannot let that one go. Oh, that's a shame. Okay, we cannot just grab this one though. So if you get a full beep with no small beeps, that means you're hitting an obstacle. So it could be like a chair or a table or a dog. There are dogs you can grab in this game. Or a UFO, because of course there is. It's Wii Play Motion. So we now have the cow ghost, which does take a while. I'm glad I've got rid of all the on-screen ones before that one appears, because that can be a pain. Okay, so this one vanished, that's fine. There's a lot of obstacles on that right-hand side to watch out for, so that's okay. And we got through without actually grabbing any obstacles, which is really good. I did grab one at one point, but it's really easy to tell a lot of the time if it's an obstacle or not. So we have one more to go, and it is the boss. So the boss here teleports after about 4 seconds, like every 4 seconds. So it's really important for me to get this as soon as I can. Okay, nice. But again, we got really lucky. I was right on it, and then I just had to go from there. Pretty cool. Okay, so from here, we are just trying to get these 10 points, and it will start flailing back and forth, but eventually it will go in. We need, I think, 1,500 points, but because I've not lost any ghosts here, as long as the motion doesn't, like, drop any of my inputs, which can happen, we should get through here. There we go. So you get your time bonus as well. I need to check if that's a score PB as well, because that was really good. Okay, great, so that's Platinum Medal. We are done, and now we're moving on to one of the longest games in here, it is Star Shuttle. This is basically the tanks of this game, but we're in space and we are controlling a ship. Suddenly this game goes from funny stacking ice cream on top of each other to me potentially mentioning the phrase meters per second per second. Basically, this takes about 25 minutes. So this used to not have that many strats until very recently. So what I do here now is I have two speeds. I have an IL speed that I'm aiming for, and I have an RTA safe speed that I'm going for. So on all of these notes, I'm basically just going to be reading from my notes because they're so new that, as in, like, I only sort of picked these notes up about 2 or 3 weeks ago. They are safe, and they do actually make this game safer, as well as faster, because we are able to just make sure that we are safe in here. I will get onto the controls in a second, because there will be a lot of time for me to explain the controls. But basically, we get to the end, we hit the dock, and we have to line up the dots. There will be different colour dots as well. We have to line up the dots at the end. And that is pretty much Star Shuttle. So I'm aiming for a specific speed, and then I will pretty much instantly start decelerating. You can accelerate at a speed of 10 meters per second, and you can accelerate at 10 and decelerate at 20. So you do slow down a lot faster, and that kind of is why this looks a little bit risky. So while this alert is on the screen and constantly beeping the Wii remote as well, while that's on screen, if we crash at that speed, which specifically is 30 meters per second or higher, then that is what I would call a major crash. Basically, you have to start the stage all over again. Really, really slow. We don't want that. What we want instead is we want to go really high with the speed, because there's no limit on the speed for the rest of the stage. It's only if we hit an obstacle or the dock at the end that we have to be at that specific speed. We are going to be hitting some faster speeds now because we have a longer distance. But the motion as well is very precise of where exactly I need to be holding as well. And there are some impromptu strats later. But the first 20 stages are all going to be pretty much the same thing, because the piece that we're docking is always on the ship. The last 10 stages, you have to grab the piece. And the problem with that is, even if you know a decent strat here, it is really inconsistent when you get to the end of, like, you're pretty much never going to have the same result each time, because of the way grabbing the pieces works. Sometimes I will literally take a restart, even when I'm on the dock, knowing that it would be faster to restart the entire stage because of how I've grabbed the piece. Yeah, the depth perception is awful. So I'll get onto the controls now. So we are starting to see some higher or some more difficult notes. I have some notes in here that are trying to be concise, but they're 2 lines long. So yeah, it takes a lot of practice to be comfortable in here, and even then there are some awful stages. Yeah, this is a really, really tough game, and I did not vibe with this as a kid, or when I started speedrunning this. But the same thing with Wii Play's Find Me. Like, it's better when you have strats. Also, that is missing. I don't know why I went that fast there. This is stage 6, never mind, that is why. Okay, cool. So yeah, the next one I have to get to 73, this one I have to get to 64. So, completely thrown off there just by going 9 meters per second faster. There we go. So, you do have to watch out because the ship's hitbox is massive. You also have the hitbox of the pieces that you're docking. Those are also there you have to watch out for, and it's very easy to hit the obstacles. We are going to start to see tunnels as well, which are even harder to navigate through. Alright, so, the controls. You have to hold down to thrust forward, you have to hold up to go backwards, you have left and right as well, and you also have A to go down and B to go up. You can only use one at once, otherwise it's just going to take your first input, and then the other one it's just going to ignore. That is basically the controls. The problem with that, and the way that this is hard to make consistent, if, for example, I want to go a little bit down, but a little bit slow down Like, I wanna move the ship down physically, but I wanna slow down a little bit as well. The problem with that is you're then going to be decelerating a little bit slower than 10 meters per second. So, or 10 meters per second, just so I get that phrase in again. So you do have to really watch out for that. I would demonstrate it, but to be honest, it's pretty much a guarantee that we're going to see that at some stage anyway, because of how awful some of the cycles are in here. Stage 9, we are going for 72. That's fine. I took a while to decelerate, so that's okay. So we have to reach the end. Unfortunately, there we are missing, but that's okay. The good thing is the dots on these early stages are really big on the docks. The later stages, they are tiny, and those are the awkward ones, because basically this game does give some feedback. When you reach the dock, each dot will light up a little bit, and if all of them are lit, then that's it, you win. But the issue with that, and I'm actually going to have a strat where I wait for half a second here so the cycles are better. That is good for me, RTA, in terms of save strats. So, yeah, in terms of, like, if one of the arms starts reaching out like we just saw there, then it kind of gets a little bit difficult. There we go. Again, just holding down there, just holding up to decelerate, but because I'm holding a different angle, it means that the ship is also going to be getting into a better position as well. It's just something that you have to play the game a lot to get used to this. That's the only way to learn this game, honestly. Yeah, it's a really awkward thing to get used to, definitely. Like, my brain just could not deal with this for a while. It's only because I have so many notes. I don't even know if other top runners of this game have any notes. Or not as many that are as precise as mine, because I just need this to get used to it. Anyway, we now have storms. So, storms, you have to point at the screen. If you are pointing at the screen at the end of the storm, you win. If you don't, then that is a crash. I should say as well, you do have minor crashes in this game, which happen if you hit an obstacle at less than 30 meters per second. The only thing that happens there is like what happened on that stage previously, a few stages back. We didn't fail, but obviously it's a bit slow. We have to go forward again, and yeah, it's awkward, it's awkward. There are so many notes and so many things to get used to in this game, but that's basically it. So we are starting to get more and more things going on. These are the interesting stages, because we're now going to get closer to speeds of about 100. There are no stages, unfortunately, that allow us to get to 100, which is really sad, because one of them, the IL strat, gets to like 96, I think? 97, one of my IL strats gets to, on 3 stages. But if you go to 100, it's just that tiny bit too long for you to even finish for an IL. So for some of these, I can actually do the IL speeds because we are a little bit ahead for the estimate, but I won't do it too often. I'll only do it on ones where I'm really, really comfortable. So this is an awkward one. As you can see, there's a tunnel here. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm aiming for 72 here. Now, we could go for a bit higher than 72. The IL strat goes for 80. The problem with that is, what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to wait 1 second and then slow down. So, and there we go again. The reason why I got to 28 is because when I started pressing A to go down there, it started speeding me up because of the angle I'm at. That's another thing you have to watch out for. Yeah, completely avoiding the tunnel, just go up. That's what we're going to do most of the time because they're really awkward. Yeah, what we're trying to watch for is, sometimes it can actually be good to not go for a higher speed. I have a lot of notes in here that ask me to wait 1 second before slowing and then slow down. And that can actually help a lot to make these strats consistent. So a lot of the aim of these strats is just to make it consistent rather than make it really fast. And in these tunnels, again, hitbox is massive, so I am going to be a little safe, although I am going to risk it a little bit. Just for a few extra frames of time save. But that's all I'm going to do, because again, anytime you're in the tunnels, you are pretty much playing with your life in your hands, because they're so easy to hit. And the moment you hit one of those tunnels, you're pretty much pinballing with either side of them until you start to stabilize again. This is a really nice strat though. The cycles here are really, really, really nice. So we can get to 90 meters per second and just go in a straight line to the end. I have no notes for this stage, and that just means go to the end. There's even a storm on this stage as well. So you get to 90, and that just so happens... I was not supposed to slow... There we go. I'm going to be a little bit safer here because I was supposed to go straight down, but I actually waited there. So that was actually a very, very good, close to IL strat level. IL would have gone for 96 there, though. But again, you have to wait for the storm. The storm makes it difficult because you cannot clear a stage while the storm is on. Even if you're at less than 30 meters per second, the game just doesn't let you, which is a shame because that does limit the ILs a little bit. Anyway, stage 15, we're now going for 85. This is one of the hardest ones in here. Very hard to navigate all of these obstacles. The good thing is the cycle for the rock is a little bit easier because of us going so fast here. So I'm going to try slowing down. I do not want to hit that rock. There we go. I'm going to speed up a little bit and then go back down again though. And then I need to line up perfectly at the end because, again, tiny dots on the dock. There are 3 of them. The moment, like, even then, that looked good. And it obviously was because we won. But the green arm did start reaching a little bit. It didn't reach, but it did hit the dock very slightly before the others. And the problem with that is the game at some point will say no. And it will just go off in the other direction. And as soon as that happens, you have to back up and then take another 5 or 10 seconds sort of recalibrating yourself and starting again. So stage 16, we're going to get to 92 and then wait half a second and then slow down. The IL strat goes for 97. I am going to be hitting that. That's fine. Again, every time you get a major crash in here, it loses 10 seconds for the cutscene and obviously any time it takes you to get back to where you just were. So again, 92 and then wait half a second to slow down. What I can do is I can try the IL strat. I think I want to do that. The only problem with the IL strat is that you are having to... We'll go for 95. You are having to turn the Wii Remote upside down at the end here because of the way the piece is on the back of the ship. So it's really awkward to actually finish this stage in the IL. Basically, the IL is just flip it over and hope it wins. So yeah, it's obviously not RTA viable, but we can go for something close to it. So yeah, basically these strats all came about just from me losing a run to 3-star shuttle stages. I would have had world record if it wasn't for losing about 30 seconds in 3 of these stages. And that was the point where I thought, no, I've had enough. I'm going to learn some strats here. And I'm glad I did because it's now a lot nicer. Apart from this stage, which is awful. The cycles are terrible here. I'm aiming for about 70, and then we're just going to get through there. The IL strat does skip a cycle there, but again, it's so risky, it's not worth going for. The IL strat is 97. It is worth noting, and that is one of the ILs where that does apply. The IL can wait as long as it likes for cycles to line up at the beginning. We can't really do that because it's RTA. So, and that was a gold as well, so that's very nice. So in the IL, we would actually wait 3 seconds before pressing OK at the beginning, and that moves the cycles on, but it doesn't actually cost us any time on the in-game timer because that timer doesn't start yet. So it's a really, really interesting strat for ILs, which only really applies there. It doesn't apply in any RTA runs, but it is pretty cool. So there are a few of these where I do wait sometimes. So on stage 21, we're going to wait for 1 second. Stage 29, we're going to wait for 2. But again, it would technically be faster to not do that, but it just makes it safer and more consistent for these RTA strats to do that. The time save you get for doing the riskier cycles is just not worth it. So next one, we're going for 90 as the safe speed, believe it or not. 97 is the IL. This is one of the last really, really high speed ILs we can go for. So this has been a massive problem in a lot of my runs. This rock. So that rock does look safe, but for some reason, it has a massive hitbox, the way it actually like curves as soon as it gets to you. You can be dead straight with where the dock is there. That's why I went low. If you're dead straight with a dock, you can actually miss. And, or not miss, but you will hit the rock before you even get there. And I've been puzzled to why I get hit sometimes on that one. We are coming to these harder stages very soon. And we do have 2 more gimmicks to introduce. So this has a new strat here. I'm going to go up at the beginning. I used to wait 3 seconds for better cycles, but now I'm going to go up. We're going to get to 70. We're going to wait 2 seconds before slowing down. And then we are going to start slowing here. And what we're going to do is we're going to intercept the dock. So we're going to go down here and then hopefully hit all 4 dots. There we go. That is much nicer than going anywhere near the tunnel. Even though that looks difficult, it's still much nicer than the tunnel. So we are now finished with another station. Basically, the law of Star Shuttle is we're putting pieces on these stations that we're building. And that's pretty much it. Other than that, the cutscenes are really long. The good thing is there is an IL, again, similar to Teeter targets for Star Shuttle. And the good thing with the ILs is the moment you get clear at the end, you can actually press change stage. So there's a little bit of menuing involved, but it actually shaves off several minutes. So in terms of a practice run, it's really, really nice. So here we're going to go for 70. We're going to look like we're going to hit this, but we are barely going to avoid it. And then reach the end there. So as you can see, we're now having to grab the pieces ourselves. That's fine on these where we only need to grab, say, one piece which has a big dot, like that one. But later on, we're going to start to see some really brutal ones. Stage 30, again, similar to Teeter targets, is one of the hardest ones in here and has ruined basically anyone's runs that has done a Platinum Medals run. Has taken a lot of time at some point on stage 30. So here we're going to go for 74. We are going to aim to intercept this as quick as possible. There we go. So a distinction here is, as you can see, we do not have a restriction on how fast we can hit one of these pieces. You can hit those as fast as you like. And this looks risky, but again, we are looking to skip this cycle. Otherwise, we are going to take ages to get through there because that cycle is really awkward. We did hit the dock, but that's okay. Much better than missing that cycle and having to wait again. So yeah, at this stage, again, we do still have a little bit more of Star Shuttle left. So if there are any messages or donations, now might be a good time.
Well, you did mention Teeter targets not too long ago, and that last donation that we had, it does mean that we're only $30 away from unlocking the bonus run for Jump Park Time Attack. But as you're kind of seeing in the timer and in the estimate, we don't have a lot of time left. It closes at the very end of this run. So if you want to see some more We Play Motion, now's the time to go to donate and make sure that we have the $40 needed to actually get that bonus run unlocked. Remember, Little Warriors is a Canada-based charity, so all donations are in Canadian dollars. $1 Canadian is about 72 cents, which means that if you are in the US, you would have to only donate about, one sec. We would need $21.59 USD to reach the $30 Canadian before the end of this run, to make sure we can get some more We Play Motion. I don't know about you, chat, but I am absolutely loving this run so far.
All right, thanks so much. Yeah, so this is a really awkward, one of the hardest stages for the cycles. Unfortunately, they really don't line up. So we go for 55 and then I instantly start slowing again as soon as we get to where that tunnel is, because of where the pieces, like the obstacles, are. Unfortunately, the IL strat obviously has as long as it likes to just wait there. And even then in the IL, there's basically not a single strat that you can do there in terms of how long you want to wait for the cycles to actually line up perfectly. You either have the last cycle being dodgy or the first one. So they just really designed that to be an absolute pain. Anyway, this is a really tough stage. So we're going to aim to collect this piece in the top left of our ship. So we're going to do that. Okay, that is the top. So that is not good already, but that is okay. We'll see if it works. We're going to go for 60. We're going to slow down after 2 seconds. Now, the important thing is we do want to miss this up there because, yeah, we're not going to hit there. That's all right. The good thing is we did just miss that satellite we were going to have to deal with. That is nice. A second try with that grab is pretty nice. As you can see, the blue arm was thinking about reaching. It didn't quite go for it, but it was thinking about it, and thankfully we managed to get away with it. But yeah, that's why I'm going for a specific grab here. The fact that I didn't grab the piece in the top left, and I only missed it by a little bit, I was still kind of between the top left and the top. But even then, that tiny difference makes a huge impact on actually getting the piece on the dock. So now we start to see vortexes, which are really fun. Black holes we're going to have to deal with. Thankfully, they're not actually that difficult. Basically, as long as you don't go into the purple rings here, you will be fine. So we're just going to skirt the edge. And then I'm going to go for a really risky strat here. There we go. And then reach the end. Done. 20.6, not too bad. We only have 5 stages of these vortexes to deal with. But this is where the game starts to get really tough. So I'm only aiming for 50 meters per second now as our max speed. So this is one of the hardest pieces to grab coming up. So as you can see, you can't even see the piece. You might have caught a little glimpse of it at the beginning. It is floating right there in the bottom right corner. So I'm going to have to go to this piece. I'm going to try and grab it in the top left again. I'm going to go specifically around 28, 29 meters per second. I'm going to grab it top left. Perfect. We're then going to go for 50 meters per second. We're going to get sucked in by the vortex, which does change our speed a little bit. Very important to know that as well. We're then going to slow down a little bit just to give me some time to line this up. First try. Nice. That can be a bit of a pain in runs. So, of course, we get a UFO in the space game because there had to be one somewhere. And I don't know why that was a piece on the space station because it's already flown away. But I don't know. Either way, 28. So this is now, again, a really hard piece to grab. So in terms of going fast here, I'm going to try and aim to go slightly left for 3 seconds. I'm then going to go in to where the piece is. And it's really, really hard to grab this. There we go. If you've played this game before, you will know how easy it is to hit the dish itself. The dish itself has a huge hitbox. At the same time, if you miss the dish, then you also fail because you're just going to go zooming past it and then you're just going to have to restart because recovering it when you've already missed it is just not worth it. You might as well restart the entire game. So that one is really, really awkward. I did lose time in my PB to that one, so that is really nice to see. And then we're moving on to stage 29 and stage 30. So at the beginning, we're going to wait for 2 seconds. There we go. And then that suddenly makes all these cogs a much nicer cycle. So we're going to go for this piece in the bottom right this time. So there we go. That should do it. Perfect. And we are going to go through these cogs. So if you don't wait 2 seconds, you're basically guaranteeing that you're just going to pinball between those until the game's had enough of messing around with you, basically. So by doing that, we then save that from happening. And that is another first try. Very good first try. I think that might be another gold. I genuinely think we might have had in the region of about 10 golds so far in this. That is how new these strats are. A lot of these I haven't hit first try in runs. Very close to a gold there. Yeah, I've had about 5 to 10 golds. Or gold splits in here. But this is the final one. This is the final really, really tough stage in general in this run. There are some hard levels coming up, but in terms of actual hard stages, okay, we actually bonked on the piece itself, but we did manage to get away with it. So here, again, these cogs are terrible. We might as well just go up and avoid them all. We're going to go for 70. Not quite reaching it, that's fine. We have this vortex to deal with, so we're going to get through that. And I'm going to slow down a lot. In fact, I'm just going to resign myself to the fact that I'm hitting the dock here. That's fine, because we were going at a terrible angle. This one is so precise. I'm going to aim for the bottom right of this inner circle to hit the dock. And then hope the game behaves. It's not going to behave there. That was not the bottom right. So even then, a tiny drift of going up. Like here, we're drifting up a slight little bit here. We have a good grab, so this should be fine. We have 5 minutes on the in-game clock to play with. That is missing. That's alright. So yeah, any drift of where we want to be is going to ruin this, basically. So we're now going where we want to be. Nice. Okay, 1 minute is not too bad there. That's alright. We do still get through. So that is Star Shuttle. Again, one of the hardest games in general in Wii series just to get used to, but the strats, which by the way, I do have publicly available notes for all my games I run, and this is no exception. If you do want to get into this game, my notes for this are publicly available, and I would highly recommend them if you want to learn Star Shuttle, because it's very important. Even for bronze medals, you have to do 10 stages. So yeah, very nice to have those available, and I should really do a guide for this game as well, because the thing with this game is a lot of the time it's just knowing the motions that you have to do for that game specifically. In Wii Play, there's a lot of precise stuff you need to know. In this game, it's just, can you do this motion, and do you know how the game itself works, and then you should be good. Other than stuff like Star Shuttle, where strats are really, really important. So we're moving on to Flutterfly. This is one of the worst games in here in terms of the controls. So the controls have already got out of sync. I'm already holding the remote at a weird angle. This is basically what you want. You want to have the leaf to be straight in the middle, and you want to just keep on moving the Wii remote left and right, and that will pretty much blow the balloons up, and that will clear the stage. So you do get harder stages as you go through. The first one is easy. It's only 200 to get bronze. And then 400 for these next two, and then 900 for the last one. So what we want is, for these first two stages, we're pretty much just doing a time trial, to be honest. We need a few points. With these rings, the closer you are to the middle, the more points you're going to get. You also get a time bonus at the end, 1 point per second you have left, which are real seconds, by the way, and not Nintendo seconds, which is interesting. Probably because Nintendo didn't make these games with I/O times. Although then again, they made teeth and targets, so I don't know. Maybe I'm just waffling. Either way. So these first two are just time trials because you get so many bonuses. You get 50 extra points for every balloon you have left over as well. We're not even going to get the petals, we don't need them. But on the last stages, we are going to need to make sure we're actually getting the points required, especially on stage 4. Stage 4 is really brutal. And like a lot of things in this game, you can do ILs. The IL is based on how much in-game time there is left at the end, so that would have been a 50-second IL. Yeah, this game is, honestly, there's a lot more going on compared to Wii Play. Like, there's just a lot more games that matter in the speedrun. Like, there is no point in the run. Like, in Wii Play, I would say once we're past 6 out of all the games, that is the point where I can say, okay, we're kind of safe now. Also, this is a funny strat coming up. I literally hold the remote up here and just do some tiny shakes, and that is what I consider to be optimal. So that's what I mean. This game's just focused on being silly and fun, because that is genuinely my strat there. So again, we're aiming for the middle of these rings. I can actually swap to my left hand. The game does prompt, do you want to use left or right hand at the beginning? That is kind of just how the game syncs up the controls. It doesn't really matter too much. I can change to my left hand at some points in here. And I'm actually going to take this shortcut. Really nice. So I'm actually just going to pinball off these walls. I don't want to get hit here, so I'm just going to have to ping those crows out. That's alright. And then I'm just going to go for these petals just to be safe. Actually, no, we're fine. But basically the petals, how they work, they're on a timer. And you get 10 points for each petal you've gotten, multiplied by how many you've hit. So you get 70 by the end. So basically for stage 4, you need the petals. If you miss 1 petal, then you can win. If you miss 2 petals, then you would be very, very lucky / skilled to win. And you would basically need everything else. The salt-based strat. Yeah, I guess so. I can't argue with that. Anyway, the final stage, here we go. Let's just hope that the controls don't desync. Fun fact, in a recent run, stage 1, the controls just completely died. They just did not want to play. And then on stage 4, in the exact same run, I managed to get a score PB, which I thought was world record at the time, but I think I forgot what the score was. I think I was out by 10 of what the score was, so I actually missed it by about 60. Nice! By about 60, not 60. So yeah, there we go. We go through those, kind of thread the needle with those cacti, and I'm just going to play safe here. We are going to miss that cycle, that's alright. We're going to go up here. So we already have that balloon. We have 2 win conditions on this stage. Either keep all of the balloons, or get all of the petals. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be a little bit cheeky and save about 2 seconds by skipping that balloon. I will regret that later. We should be okay, as long as this crow doesn't catch up to us. We should be alright. Oh, no, don't miss that. No. Okay, hang on. Alright, this is going to be hard to clear. So you know what I was saying about if you miss... Okay, we've missed 3 now. I deserve that. I did say I was going to fly pretty close to the sun with these IO strats. That's alright. So... Yeah, basically... Okay, now we're just going to go for all the points. So... You want to thread the needle with a lot of stuff in here. The cycles are really awkward to deal with. And not only that, but it takes a long time from being in a stationary position to actually going forward in here. No, don't hit that. Okay, well, that's just not helpful. Yeah, you just don't want to deal with that. It's not ever going to be in a good enough position for us to use that launcher. Like, we might as well just go manually. So yeah, again, a lot of points for getting the middle of these rings. If you get the middle of a double ring, that's going to be 30 points, I believe it gives us. It's 15 for a middle of a single ring, and then it's 5 if you hit just the edge. So you want to be a bit careful. There we go. Right, we're going to be a little bit safer this time. So we're going to grab this one. You know what? We're going to go for a score run. We'll go a little bit safer, and that means we're going to go for a score run. Okay, hang on. We're going to have to wait here, though, which is going to cost us on the in-game timer. Then I'm going to go below. So again, you can just barely squeeze between that cactus, but it is very risky. So we're going to pick this one up now. Fine. To be fair, it's like one of the first times I've missed that petal in a long time. Like, I did not expect that to ruin that run, but that's okay. Good thing is, because we took a little while to get here, these cycles are now much nicer, and then we just get to the end, and that's the game. And then that's it, and now my arm feels like it's going to fall off, because this game is exhausting. This split is only... Okay, nice, 1,000 points. This split is only, like, less than 8 minutes long, even with those fails. And even then, it's still just so tiring. I can't play this game for that long. Anyway, back to a nicer one for the motions. It is trigger twist. So this is shooting range, but you have to move around the screen to actually hit all the targets. Now, the difference in this game compared to Wii Play is that this is entirely fixed. Everything is always the same. So, all the balloons, all the targets, all the birds, everything will always be the same here. You do have some extra little things you can grab though, and a bird in here. But basically, this is just hit everything as fast as we can. We do get a combo point system in here, so that was a thing in Wii Play, under a slightly different system, of just how many in a row do you hit, -4, and that's your extra points. In here, you get 10, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, and then every other point from then on is 100. The thing is, this stage is pretty free. We only need 1,000 points, and the problem with this is we can't actually lose any lives. You can see at the bottom of the screen, there is a life system. We can't actually lose any lives. The only thing we can lose lives to on this stage specifically, nice stage, or nice ending, that's the only way we can really save time in here. And yes, you can hit the knees in this version, which is kind of funny. That is the reason I did that, by the way. It's so all the UFOs go to this side, so they're easier to do. I didn't just do it.
By the way, Midi, we have a celebrity donation.
Whoa, go ahead.
And We have $10 from the Salt Bay saying, excited to be involved in this terrific run. And those $10 puts us just a little bit closer to unlocking the Jump Park Time Attack bonus run. But that's not the only donation we got. We also got a $5 donation from Alara saying, I am awake. I'm awake. Had to sleep in a bit to recover, but I need to be back for even more Prevent-a-Thon. One of the best events. Lots of love to the host, runner, tech, and chat. So we are now sitting at $25. Only 15 more, and we unlock the Jump Park Time Attack bonus run. So we don't have a lot of time left. Let's see if we can get a donation train. All you gotta do is hit _donate in the chat. It'll bring you to the donation page. And when you're doing your donation, make sure to hit the add incentive button to ensure we can get the Jump Park Time Attack bonus run. Again, we only got $15. We're only $15 short from reaching that incentive, and it closes at the end of this run.
All right, fantastic. Thanks so much. So, we go from a stage that is entirely pointless for the speedrun, minus about a 2-second time loss sometimes, to this, which is very important for me to hit the cycles. So I need 2,000 points. These ninjas can hit me, so we can end this stage early. The only way you can get hit on the stage we were just playing is the mothership at the end, which is the boss, and there's no reason to do that. What I am going to do here, though, is I'm going to get that. So I got hit there, and I also managed to get the points. So what we're going to do is this last bit, I'm going to stay zoomed in on this ninja specifically. So this one is going to hit me first, and then hopefully this one next after my invincibility frames are done. And then that's it. That's the fastest you can do that stage. And I have failed that so many times in PVs, even very recent runs. As in literally this morning in the practice run. So that's good to get. And that does save about 5 seconds doing it like that. So, interesting thing where you can get hit and also hit the ninja, or in this level, the dinosaurs, just before they kind of run away. So this one, we need 2,500. Again, another one where we can save a lot of time based on these cycles we're hitting. Then, the funny thing is, all these medal requirements I've been saying, these are all easy. Well, Platinum Medal requires us to do all these stages in order. All over again. We need 26,000 points. So, yeah, it really ramps up the difficulty for Platinum. There we go, so we'll do that again. And I have dropped a combo here, unfortunately, but that's alright. So some of these coconuts do have coins in, but generally it's not going to be giving us enough to actually skip any cycles. Nice! That last minute catch of that other dino has actually saved me a bit of time. So this is suddenly now the optimal cycle that I can get. So this next bit, we have these dinos, and I do want to be looking at them so they actually hit me as soon as they can. And then we're done. So we have one more to go, and it is, again, a very long... This is one of the longest games in here in terms of a single medal. As well as the next one coming up after this one, which is the only bit of big RNG in the entire run. Most of this is predetermined. As I was saying, there's no RNG in Trigger Twist here, which is the game we're playing. There is a little bit of RNG in the game coming up. And annoyingly, it's right at the end, so it's not like a bit of RNG where we could play the game really early to get it out of the way. It is pretty late into the game. It's so late that it's like 4 minutes into the game, so there's not really a reason to play it early. Alright, so these cans I'm not going to hit. Basically, they only give you 10 points per can, and then at the end they give you, if you're on a combo, they'll give you bonus points. So, in the speedrun, I am not going to go for those at all. I might as well just let them fall to the ground, and then they're done. So again, very important to keep combo now, because these points are going to carry through stages. Every time I drop combo, I'm going to lose about 300 to 400 points. And then these birds are pretty difficult. Going to the left, apparently. I normally aim to hit the left one first. The good thing with these UFOs as well, they are always in the exact same spots. So you can just do same thing each time. That was some very lucky coin spawns, though. Those coins are random in where they spawn, as far as I'm aware. And the fact that they all spawned on top of each other is really nice because I can just do the same shot 3 times. Otherwise, there I am taking a really long time to hit them because, again, I don't want to lose combo just hitting coins. You still get 50 points for the coins, but when I get back to these other targets like these UFOs, we don't get those 100 points because we lost our combo. I looked away and looked back, and there's suddenly dinos. Yes, there is a boss stage in the dino, which is basically just a big dino that tries to charge at us, but every time it charges, it hits a tree trunk. And at that point, it looks like a quick time event where you have to just keep hitting the dino in like a bunch of different circles that appear. And every time you do that, you deal some damage. Unfortunately, it's kind of a slow boss, and we don't have to play that much of the dino stage. It would add a lot more time to actually reach that. So basically what we're aiming for is a similar thing to the stage 3 that I just played, where we want to get there. So 11,000 is perfect, by the way. That is the optimal strat for the speedrun, which is fantastic. The next stage is a little bit harder. So what we want is, again, keep our combos. We want to get through here with as many points as possible. We are aiming for 23,000. So that means we only need 3,000 in the dino stage, which is really, really good. And I have done IL practice of the dino stage getting to 4,000 points, because a lot of the time it may not go your way, so being able to get to 4,000 is still good, because it is not a lot of the time that I will be playing the later parts of the dino stage, so it's always good for a little bit of practice. And we are now seeing these gold ninjas, which do charge a little bit faster. That's pretty nice, though. Nice. Alright, cool. So that was that stage. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, never mind, no. It didn't drop my combo. I just forgot how the stage works. Ignore me. So basically, this stage is kind of nice because I just hit that barrel, and I did not lose my combo. Because, okay, now I've lost it. That's alright. One combo so far is pretty good. Yeah, basically, if you hit an obstacle in the background, like a barrel or something, technically some of these have hearts in. So you might be hitting them just to get some extra hearts. So you don't actually drop your combo, which is pretty nice. What I can do here, though, is play a little bit riskier because I did just drop my combo, which is nice. Recoup a little bit of time loss for dropping the combo. Again, I've only dropped combo, what, 2 or 3 times in here, so that is absolutely fine. So we have some difficult parts coming up, so I do want to be careful. So there's this one, and then there's also this one, which I'm just going to wait till it goes on the roof because that's easier. And then this is the tough bit. 16 all at once. Nice. It has taken me so much practice to be able to get all of those. Honestly, the first runs of this game I used to get about half of those. So it's really good to be able to do that. And now we have the boss. So basically this boss just teleports around a bunch. I now have my Wii remote just flying the other side here. There we go, 23,000. And yeah, grabbing those coins fast is pretty much the last bit of time save you can get here. Please don't crash. Thank you. I have had a game crash there before, and it was heartbreaking. I am so glad I've not had it again since, because I was on PB pace as well. It was incredibly sad. I have beaten my PB many times since then, so I don't really care now. But it always worries me. Basically, I got it because of me. I was mashing the minus button to skip the cutscene, and I'm fairly sure that might be the reason why it happened. So from every run since, I take at least a second to not let that happen. Nice. Okay, this is looking good so far. And yeah, again, we're going to have these same dinos coming along. These have tiny hitboxes as well, so very difficult to do this optimally. But that is our 26k. We are done. Exact same endpoint as we just had in stage 3, which is fantastic. So we now have this one, and we're going to just look at it straight on again, and that is it. So it's possible to save a little bit more time there if you can get hit earlier, but yeah, it's a really, really tough one, and you pretty much have to play perfectly. So that is it. We are coming up to the only bit of RNG in the entire run. It is time to defend our vegetable garden. It is Veggie Garden. This game is so silly. So basically, I mean, all the games are silly in here, but still. This game kind of tries to be like, oh, look at the moles in the background, and then they're going to come at you in about 5 seconds time. Everything is predetermined. So you're always going to get the same things. These Miis appear at the same time, although they are a little bit more tricky because they don't appear in the background. They will give us bonus veggies. They will give us 30 points each time. If we hit one of the Miis, you lose 20 points, which is basically a net loss of 50 at that point, which is very bad. But we aren't under threat of losing here, because winning here is easy, or it should be. If I lose this, then feel free to laugh and point at me, because it should not be a problem. But annoyingly, the medal requirement here is 2,200. So what we're going to need is we are going to need to play some of the boss, but not necessarily all of the boss. And that is where the RNG comes in. So I am going to delay my hits on these moles here very slightly, because if you hit all of those as soon as you can, the problem with that is that our meter at the bottom of the screen there for this mallet is going to be a little bit lower than we want it to be. So by doing that, that actually gives us a little bit more leniency. Because I have had runs in the past here that have lost mallet, and I have been very puzzled why it has happened. And that is why. So we just get these last ones. So the mallet gives us double points. It also gives us 1-shots. So any mole that has a helmet on normally takes 2 shots. But there it gives us a 1-shot kill. So it's very important. Here is the only other cycle where you can save time, but it is really hard. And I'm just going to be mashing my motions a lot, basically. So I'm going to start with the first mole in the middle. Oh, I lost the veggie. That is bad. That is really bad. In terms of... Okay, this is not good because it's dropping my inputs as well. That's fine. So we're going to lose time here, sadly, but that's alright. What we have also lost is we've lost 1 veggie, which means we're going to lose 30 points compared to the optimal strat. On top of that, we only got a 4th cycle, but that's alright. It's really hard, and it basically relies on the Wii Remote not dropping any inputs, so it's fine. It's been a little weird today, so I will accept it. It's alright. The problem with losing 30 points there is it's going to make the RNG... We're going to need a little bit better RNG to get through that last bit. This is difficult. This is predetermined, but it is still difficult, so I am going to focus now. Be very careful I don't hit that knee. Nice, got all 3 of those there. So you get these 5-point moles. They don't grab veggies, but they are really fast, so you have to hit them quickly if you want to hit them. So I'm going to specifically hit those 2 first, and then the middle one, because the middle one is a slow one. And then we get a bunch of lag frames. I don't know why this happens, but it just does. The game can't cope with this many moles on screen, apparently. And then we are coming to the end here. Nice, we got them all. Oh, wait, did I miss one on the right-hand side? Either way, it's only 10 points. It's no big deal. It's okay. So, we are now on 2,000 points. That is why that's annoying, because if the medal requirements went as you would think they do, which is bronze for 500, silver for 1,000, gold for 1,500, platinum for 2,000, that would be great. Platinum is 2,200, so we can't do that. I have a feeling that's because they play tested this and realised you can get 2,000 without playing the boss at all. So you have to play some of the boss, but not all of it. Okay, so this is where the RNG comes in. What we want here is, while we're getting moles thrown at us, we want the boss to sometimes throw veggies at us. Every time it throws a bonus veggie, we are going to get plus 30. And yeah, by the way, in terms of the incentive, we are about 10 minutes away from the end of the... In fact, not even that, about 9 minutes away from the end of the run. So, yeah, we do not have much time for that. We have 2 more games coming up, Treasure Twirl and Windrunner, and then we are done.
And as a reminder, we only have $15 left before we reach that incentive. So again, make sure that when you're donating, hit the add incentive button at the bottom of the donation page. Make sure that you are also donating to the Jump Park Time Attack bonus run.
Absolutely, yes. Very good to mention. Yes, you do have to put it towards that incentive. Do remember that. So now what we're having to do is we're having to play the boss, which is not great. So as soon as you charge up your mallet, you then just whack the boss a bunch of times, and then he goes back again. We have 1 more cycle. If we get veggies this time, there you go, instant 1 at the beginning. That is going to give us a chance at skipping at least 1 cycle. I do still need 2 more though. There is another one coming in. There's another 2 coming in. There we go. We should be done. Never mind, because that apparently counted as a mallet hit and and a veggie hit. So we are not getting through. That's fine. That was very hard to avoid. Basically, a mole came in pretty much the exact same point that one of the veggies come in, but that's fine. That just means we've got more time to hit the incentive. So this is why you want to skip the end, because the boss takes ages to fall. He spits out a bunch of extra veggies, and if that wasn't bad enough, at least we get to showcase it. For some reason, there's a bronze trophy of a veggie that takes ages to float down and just gives you 300 points, because why not? So suddenly, the medal is easy, and that's why I said it will be really hard for me to fail it. The only risk really is if all the veggies get taken. That's the way you fail the game. But either way, that's platinum medal, we get through. It loses about 30 seconds, but it's fine. In terms of a marathon run, we are still getting through. It is okay. We have 2 more to go. And you know what? Should we do the IL strat in stage 3? I think we should. I've never hit it in an RTA run before, but I want to give it an attempt. So, this is Treasure Twirl. This is the game infamously known for the rolling pin IL strat. Someone has revealed, who has a few world records in this category, since stopping running the game, they revealed that they strapped a rolling pin to their Wii Remote to move it faster. Basically, you have to tilt the Wii Remote down to kind of lower yourself down. It's kind of like acting as the rope at the top of the ship to lower yourself down or go back up again. Also, you thought I was done with game show references. If you've ever seen the game show Jungle Run, which I doubt anyone outside of the UK is gonna know. Basically, it was a kids' TV show where you have to go further inside a cave and grab a bronze, silver, and gold chest and win prizes. That is what that reminds me of, because we have bronze, silver, and gold chests in here, and you have to grab at least 1 chest to resurface. But these pretty much give us points per chest. So the gold gives us 2,500, and the bronze just tops us up a little bit to get that. Okay, we have a bit of time left over with the estimate for 140 to go for the IL strat, so I'm going to do it. So this is the IL strat. We're going to go down here, and we are going to skip going to the right-hand side for bonus gems. I'm now going to grab that, and that has probably ruined it. The moment I get hit there, that has probably ruined it. That's okay. I wanted to show it off anyway. Thread the needle here, grab this one, go up. That might still do it, because I grabbed that fuel tank, and it got me back up. Fuel tank gives you bonus points, and nice. That's the first time I've hit that in an RTA run. So that should be a gold split. 1 second gold, let's go. The only reason it didn't save more time is because I got sniped by the octopus. It normally should save about 5 seconds. So basically you get bonus points for your fuel tank. And I'm impressed I even hit that. I haven't even practiced that today. I went to practice this earlier, and I thought, am I going to do the IO strat on the marathon? No, I'm not going to do it. It's too risky. Yeah, I don't know. My attitude just changed as soon as I got here. I thought, no, I'm going to do it. I'm glad I did now. No one's ever went for that in an RTA run. That's a marathon exclusive right there. I pretty much only go for that if I can't possibly PB anymore. And this run technically qualifies, so that's why I did it. But anyway, so this is a really tough stage. You have to go really deep to go get that gold chest. We have to go back up again and grab the others. So I am going to grab a lot of these big gems. Big gems give you 100 points. The small ones give you 10. And there are a bunch of big gems here as well. So this is going to be really safe. I'm just going to grab all of them. Suddenly we've gone from IL strats to playing really safe, but that's what we're doing here. So the full fuel tank gives us 1,000 points at the end. So that's why we want to keep that full. Not just because we want to be safe, but also because we want to actually get the required points. Stop sniping me. Oh my goodness, it's going to do it again. Okay, so yeah, that's on a terrible cycle. It's literally covering the chest. So every time the cycles come up, come on, beat the cycle. There we go. Every time the octopus comes up, that's kind of where the legs are locked. So you have to kind of work around them from there. There are also legs on the side that you have to deal with. If I go too close to the left here, I have to deal with that. There we go. But otherwise, we should be good because I've collected so many bonus gems.
You want to talk about bonuses? We actually just met the bonus run incentive for Jump Park Time Attack. Thanks to a $15 donation from Dragons, we got to get Jump Park. So we're going to get it. So congratulations. We're going to see some more We Play Motion. And it's thanks to all of you who donated to this incentive. We couldn't have done it without you. So round of applause to the people who donated and helping spread the word of Prevent-a-Thon and donated to Little Warrior.
Thanks so much, and yeah, shouts to Dragons. Dragons has been in chat a little bit. They are one of the top Wii Series runners across some of the games, specifically Wii Fit, which is pretty interesting. I suck at Wii Fit, but yeah, they're pretty good. So yeah, shouts to Dragons. Anyway, final game is Wind Runner. So again, another really fun game if you were to do this IRL. You are putting out an umbrella and following the wind. And the wind, I don't know how powerful this has got to be to work, but sure. This is what the game is. So we are going to go this way because this stage is basically a time trial. You get bonus points at the end for how much time you have remaining. And you only need 100 points in this first stage to get bronze. You then need 150 on the next one for silver. And then you need 200 on... you need 150 again on stage 3 for gold, or 200 on stage 3 for platinum. So there are only 2 more stages to go, and then we are done. But we do have that Jump Park Time Attack to go as well. Yes, you're playing to fame. Hey, it's a pretty cool game to fame though. The strats in Wii Fit are even more funny than in this game. There is a strat where you put a printer on your Wii balance board, and it is funny. Anyway, we're in Wind Runner, so we now have these rings to get. So I want to do these jumps and then go in the inside of these rings, and that will be giving us a very satisfying animation and a +10, which is very important. Yeah, the printer strats in Wii Fit. It's a very normal thing to do. I mean, why would you not do that? Listen, the Wii series is just fun. That's what we've learned from this one. The Wii series is just silly. So again, I am now I've grabbed a few rings. We should be okay. I have missed a couple though. Basically, if you miss a ring, it will just give you the gems as normal. It's only if you hit the inside of the ring that it will just give you all 10. But we should be good here. We should be hitting the amount needed. And as you can see, the wind does change. That's why I'm having to change where I'm holding the Wii remote each time. I can't really show you because that's not really possible in this game because of how it works. But you can probably see me lifting the Wii remote sometimes as well. Wii Fit speedruns will happen whenever I do Wii Series Marathon again. That's another thing that is in the Wii Series. The Wii Series consists of 13 games. Yes, even Wii Chess. And basically, there is a run called the Wii Series Marathon, which basically requires you to do one of the main categories in every game, including Nintendo Switch Sports as well, because Nintendo has advertise that as a bit of a follow-on to the Wii series, so it counts as Wii series. So yeah, 13 games back to back. Wii Fit's in there 3 times because you've got Wii Fit Plus, and Wii Fit U. Yeah, it's an interesting run. Unfortunately, in this game, you only have to play all games, which is just playing a round of each game back to back, so you don't really get any medals. I kind of prefer running the medal categories too, then, because they're a little bit more complete. Anyway, here, I'm literally going to let go of the umbrella there just to make sure I catch that ring. We are then going to go for these ones as well. These are the last ones I'm going to go for. Grab all 3 somehow. I don't know how I grabbed that and stayed alive. Good thing is, if you fall off here, you do just get teleported to the nearest checkpoint, so that is fine. And because we did so well at the beginning, time is coming up in about 10 seconds, by the way. Not on the finish line, but when the medal appears. Yeah, because I did so well, I don't even need to go the top half. Top half is really awkward. Medal is going to appear in about 3 seconds, and that is time. 1:32 on my end. So, pretty cool. And
SMMidi.
Thank you! And yeah, we unlock a bunch of bonus games. There are some that aren't even playable because, yes, this is a very, very interesting game. Basically, when you go back to the title screen, you get a bunch of bonus games. Yeah, you can't even play them all because I don't know why. You can technically play them if you make some alterations, let's say, to the game. But yeah, otherwise that is it. Anyway, we have a few more minutes to do some Jump Park Time Attack. So thank you all for your incredible generosity. We have reached Jump Park Time Attack. So as a reward for beating all 4 Gem Hunt stages, you get Time Attack, which is basically Jump Park, but you just go straight to the end. So there are no gems to collect, you just go to the end. So what we're going to do is we are going to play each stage a few times, because this actually is not a category in the game. So we're going to play each stage a few times, try and get a good run, move on to the next one. That's pretty much how this is going to work. Because these are very, very short. The world records for most of these are less than 10 seconds. In fact, the first one is less than 3 seconds. So, yeah, very, very short. It is very interesting. Also, another thing I don't think I noted in Jump Park earlier, the gold power-up is in here. And there is a reason for that. Not because it's going to double the gems, because the gems, there are no gems to double. But you jump higher when you have the gold power-up. So that is why they leave it in here. So, yeah, very interesting IL here. We don't get this in regular runs, but it's nice to show off. Anyway, I think I am ready to get started. So I will give a countdown just in case we're timing this. If not, it's fine because it's technically not going to be a full continuous run of all 4 back-to-back. But either way, we're going to go in 3, 2, 1, go. So first off is stage 1. So I am going to have to hold some very precise, and yeah, it's going to give me a tutorial. I'm going to have to hold some very precise angles to actually go where I want to go here. So that is the first way of doing that, and I'm going to pretty much press restart a bunch of times. Alternatively, what we can do is we can jump. We don't even have to dive. So you press A to dive in the direction that you are facing, or what we can do is we can just go. So that's 4.3. So again, world record here is about 3 seconds. So glad we got the incentive for this. I was not ready for Wii Play 2 end. Honestly, I'm so glad about the reception to this game, because this is actually the first marathon appearance of Wii Play Motion since 2021. It is really cool to be able to show this off. The last time it was shown off in a marathon was just before I started running Wii series properly, outside of a few casual-ish Wii Sports Resort runs. 3.9, there we go, nice. I'll move on. Yeah, the first run of this in a marathon, as far as I'm aware, was all games in 2021. And again, as I mentioned earlier, that is literally just playing a round of each game once. So there's not a lot of the game actually shown off in there. Okay, so anyway, stage 2. This is... yeah, I'm getting all the weird Wii Series games in. This is what happens when you give me a 1 hour, 40 minute time slot. So what we do is we hold really low here, and then we go up here, basically go up a bunch of times. I'm going to cut the corner off here. I'm going to use this lift this time, and then I'm going to try and skip the final lift. Unfortunately not getting in, that is fine. There we go, 18.6. So this is much longer. This is actually one of the longer ILs. Most of the other ones, even though the stages are longer, there are so many more platforms that they can be faster. So we cut this corner off again. There we go. Nice, much better that time. Nice. And again, we're going to go up. I can go above the lift as well, and you can use that top lift. That's normally what I use in gem hunt runs. I will use that top lift, which is guaranteed to get you in the goal. We'll do one more. We will do one more of this, and then we are going to move on. But yeah, it's such a shame that this only gets really about a 4-minute segment in runs. It's a very important game. Don't get me wrong. It's a very important game. Like, this is at the top of my practice in terms of... Also, that was a very interesting thing that happened there. I think what happened is I pressed A, and it launched me straight away rather than having the little bit of delay because of the way the hitbox changes when you, like, are on a wall for some reason. So I think that's why that happened. Anyway, stage 3. We are going to go at a very slight right angle here. Or angle to the right, because I now realise right angle is a separate thing. Anyway, we are now going to go this way. We're going to grab the gold, and then suddenly we jump really high, and we can just get to the end. We're going to go again. I want to get sub 12. Sub 12 will be good here. My PB gets sub 10. So that will be nice. So we're going to go here. Nice, there we go. That's much better. So we're going to have to go there again because there is too much of a gap there. Nice, good grab. Oh, I didn't quite reach that last platform. That's alright. 13.1. We'll do this a few more. Yeah, time attack barely ever gets shown off. Like, I barely ever play this as well. But it's nice to be able to play something different in here other than Gem Hunt. And there are ILs for this. Just because this is not in medal runs, we do still get to play it. And this actually does feature in all games, in the all games category, because this is technically faster than playing Jump Park Stage 1. Okay, one more attempt at this, and we're going to show off Stage 4, which is the final one in here. So all the sound effects, again, are coming from my Wii Remote. They are not coming from the game. All these, like, jump, bounce sound effects, they're all coming from my Wii Remote. And ordinarily, if I was just doing this as, like, ILs, I wouldn't have the Wii Remote speaker on. I never use it. I only use it because Spooky Search requires it. Anyway, final one. We are using... Oh, no, we're going backwards. What the heck? Alright, so, final one. We are going to go up, and then hopefully at an angle so we can go down again in here. Oh, we bonked there, that's alright. There we go. So we want to go this way. Nice, grabbing that. If we go too high there, it's really hard to go back down again. And then I want to cut the corner at the end here. There we go. So I was trying to do that in the run earlier, but it's a little bit hard to do that. We'll give this a few more goes, because technically this can be a little bit faster than some of the stages we've seen already. Let's do that. Alright, I have gone left. That is not the right way. You have to go right there. It makes a huge difference not getting the gold power-up. No, we are going the wrong way again. That's fine. Let's go. Nice. Nice recovery. And then get to the end. Not quite clipping the wall. There is a very, very precise way, which world record doesn't even do, which I'm fairly sure would be possible, where you clip the wall just barely. Like, it means that you don't have to launch yourself down again to actually clear that. Alright, we're going to restart this, and this will be our last attempt. And then I will let you go and move on for the next run. But thanks so much everyone for this run. Again, if you want to follow me, I stream on Twitch at SMMidi. I do a bunch of runs of games like this all the time. I have played We Play series for about 3 years now, on and off, and it is nice, 13.5. It's really fun to be able to run these games. They are really nice to pick up, really easy to pick up. Again, if you want to pick this game up, then my notes are public. There are not really many notes you need to know for most of these games, to be honest. It is just knowing how to navigate the controls. If you're struggling with the controls, then check out the Discord. Wii Play Motion is not the most active game all of the time, so you don't even have to scroll that far in the chat to me a couple of years back, not even that, probably a year or so ago, freaking out trying to find out from people, oh my goodness, can you please help me with Skip Skimmer? I am just not having a good time here. Again, people that missed it earlier, it took me 4 hours casually, so if you struggle with Skip Skimmer, it's a normal game to struggle with, trust me. At least for me, anyway. Some people get past it in 10 minutes, so I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it's a really fun game to pick up. I would also recommend joining the Wii Series Speedrun Discord server if you want to ask any questions there, as well as for all the other games in the Wii Series. You've got Wii Sports, all the games that people are usually more familiar with. But thanks so much for having me, and enjoy the rest of the marathon. It has been fantastic.
Once again, everyone on chat, give a round of applause and big GG's to Midi for not just getting all the platinum medals, but also an excellent showcase of the jump part time attack. So one more time, GG's for SMMidi. Any closing remarks? Anything else you want to say before we sign off?
I'm trying to pick up other games. I've been doing some Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games recently, so that's a pretty interesting speedrun. But most of my games are kind of mini-game based. You just play the game, you have to do a bunch of tasks and stuff, and that's just kind of the game we speedrun a lot of. So yeah, I am trying to look into other games to run, but whenever it comes down to routes, as you can see, the moment I come across a game like Star Shuttle, I start struggling a lot. So yeah, this is just my brand of game. That's what I've come to accept. But either way, this and like Mario platformers and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, enjoy the rest of the marathon.
Alrighty then, well, that was a wonderful journey through Wii Play Motion. So this is a great time to take a bit of a break, stretch your legs, get something to eat or drink. And when we come back, we're gonna have a cute little run from everyone's favorite little pink puffball, Kirby, in Kirby Squeak Squad. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this short break. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Prevent-a-Thon, where we are racing money for Little Warriors. We are a speedrunning marathon benefiting Little Warriors, a Canadian-based charity focused on the awareness, prevention, and treatment of child sexual abuse. We are just getting ready for our next run, which is Kirby Squeak Squad by Beam Queen Soul. But before we get to that run, we do have a couple of things that we want to discuss. First of all, we have a new incentive that is open, and that is Durango Wanko upgrading the run to a 100% run. And that incentive will be cut off right before the run is supposed to start. So not a lot of time before we can get to that incentive. It's only $30 before we reach that incentive. So all you got to do is hit ! donate in the chat. That'll take you into the donation page where if you will donate, all you can do is go to the bottom of the page and make sure to hit add donation, or rather add incentive, and it'll open up a little menu where you can put in select the option for which incentive you want to open up, and let's see if we can upgrade the goodest of boys running a 100% run of Durango Wanko. And by the way, this run is benefiting Little Warriors, as I mentioned. It is a Canada-based charity, so all donations are in Canadian dollars. So $30 Canadian, if you were to do the quick conversion on that, roughly converts to $21.59 if you are in the United States. So that's not a whole lot. Let's see if we can get a donation train going. Not a whole lot of time before we close that incentive. So let's see if we can see more good boys later on in the run. Durango Wanko is a very, very cute game. I got a chance to check it out earlier this year, and I'm sure you guys will absolutely enjoy the run when we get to it later on today by Cubs Rule 21. So we'll be back in just a quick moment, and we'll get you all settled in for Kirby Squeak Squad.